All right, today we're going to look at solving compound inequalities, and we're going to focus on and compound inequalities. So it was in a couple videos back, we talked about and inequalities. We have to have a solution that is true for both inequalities. Okay, and then that's why our graph is the overlapping section of these. So I've got my first example here. -3 is less than x minus 6, less than or equal to 5. So I can solve this just as it is, or I can look at this another way. All this is saying is that -3 is less than x minus 6, and x minus 6 is less than or equal to 5. So all I did was kind of take that and split it into 2. Okay, with the middle going with both inequality signs. And I can just solve these as we go. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Now I'm going to work this 2 ways. Okay, so working both inequalities. -3 plus 6 gives me 3, less than x, and x less than or equal to, well, 5 plus 6 is 11. Okay, now from the original, I could work this out just as it is. I don't have to split it into the 2. All I have to do is add 6. Okay. I get -3 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 11. So all I did on that original problem was I added 6 to the center and to both outsides. Okay, so my solution set is 3 less than x less than or equal to 11. So this means at 3, I'm going to have an open circle shading to the right. And at 11, I'm going to have a closed circle shading to the left. So my graph is that overlapping section right there. All right, let's look at the next one. I've got 1 less than or equal to 7 minus 3x less than or equal to 10. So first thing I want to do is minus 7 to everything. And I'm going to work this as one problem just to make it faster on myself. Those cancel out in the middle. 1 minus 7 gives me a -6, less than or equal to -3x, less than or equal to 3. Okay, then I'm going to divide all sides by -3. So -6 divided by -3 gives me 2. Since I divided by a negative, I do have to flip my inequality sign. And 3 divided by -3 is -1. So my solution set for this is -1 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. This is kind of a standard way of writing it, with the smallest number on the left side and the larger number on the right. So we get -1, we have a closed circle shading to the right. And at 2, we have a closed circle shading to the left. And since it's an and both of these have to be true, we're shading in between. All right, let's look at our next one. I've got 4 less than or equal to 2 times x plus 4 less than 6. So the first thing I need to do is I need to distribute this 2. Okay, so I get 4 less than or equal to 2x plus 8, and that's still less than 6. Subtract 8 on both sides, and I've got, or on all sides I should say, 8 minus or 4 minus 8 is a negative 4, less than or equal to 2x. Those canceled out. 6 minus 8 is 2, or negative 2. So I end up with negative 4 less than or equal to 2x less than negative 2. Now I need to divide all sides by 2. So I get negative 2 is less than or equal to x less than negative 1. So I'm going to have a closed circle at negative 2. Open circle at 1, and we're shading in between since it's an and. And our solution set is negative 2 is less than or equal to x, less than a negative 1. So only numbers that are between these two are going to be our solutions. All right, one final example and then we'll move on for this video. All right, I've got negative 5 less than 3/4 x plus 1 less than negative 2. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to subtract that 1 from all sides. I get negative 6 less than 3/4 x less than negative 3. Okay, I'm going to show you a slightly different way to deal with fractions this time. So I'm going to times everything by the denominator. Okay, that cancels out my denominator. I get negative 24, so negative 6 times 4 is less than, I still have 3x, less than negative 12. And then I can divide everything by 3. So I get negative 8 is less than x, which is less than negative 4. So we want numbers that are between negative 8 and negative 4. Okay, so we have an open circle at both of these since they're not equal to. And it is filled in between. All right, that is all I have for this video. And I will see you in the next.